The dispossession of land through the 1930 Natives Land Act was apartheid's original sin. The act saw thousands of black families forcibly removed from their land by the apartheid government. The act also restricted black people from buying or occupying land and confined them to tiny locations without so much as a back garden or in faraway lands without the view of the rivers and mountains that they were born in. Among the various basic services promised and delivered to citizens, the year 1994 also brought the one thing that would redeem the dignity of black people: land. Through the Restitution of Land Rights Act No. 22 of 1994 and the Restitution of Land Rights Amendment Act in 2014, scores of communities have successfully lodged their claims for dispossessed land. It has not been an easy journey, but collaborations between government and the private sector have helped to ensure that the land claimants are trained and equipped to work the land and make a living from it. From the goodness of the earth, South Africa's children are thriving. The presidency has been at the forefront of some of the most groundbreaking handovers of land. This is in line with President Cyril Ramaphosa's promise made in the State of the Nation address.
Agriculture is one of the industries with the greatest potential for growth. Government stands ready to table an expropriation bill that outlines the circumstances under which expropriation of land without compensation will be possible. We are prioritizing youth, women, people with disabilities, and those who have been farming on communal land and are ready to expand their operations for training and allocation of land.
The beneficiaries of the land handovers paint the true story of how this has changed their lives. In the year 2018, President Cyril Ramaphosa handed over 4,586 hectares of land and title deeds to the community of KwaMkhwanazi in Empangeni, KwaZulu-Natal. The community formed the Phalane Community Trust in 2005 to manage the land profitably.
Sifuno sakhe isizwe ukuthi sithuthuke siye phambili. Asibhekelele ukuthi njengoba umhlaba sekufanele siklama amasayiti siwadayise ukuze sihlomule, cha, ayikho into enjalo. Lo mhlaba uzobuya uthuthuke bona abantu besizwe sakwamkhwanazi.
Uma uhulumeni ekwazi ukusibhekelela nje bese sibhekelele nje iplaza elikhona, soqinisekisa ukuthi leli plaza umoba likhiqize ngendlela efanelekile ukuze ukuthi egcineni umnotho uze kithi uphinde uhulumeni akwazi ukuthola ngoba sithweba sonke masekunjalo.
Mkhwanazi area women are also involved in the development of the land. Some are members of the Phalane board. Others work on the commercial farms, while some make a living of the extras from their subsistence farming.
La ngikhona ngisemasimini ngiyalima ivande. Senza indlela kuyiphilisa. Ngoba akukho okunye singakuthola ngaphandle ukuthi sibheke phansi enhlabathini, inhlabathi isibusiso futhi mangasetshenzwa isiqalekiso. Isikhathi engakabuyiseli indawo phela ibisebenzwa ngabamhlophe. Thina abantu abamnyama besikhongozela amasente labo mangabe uqashiwe kwenze futhi ungaqashwa ke. Futhi isimo besithense.
Still in KwaZulu-Natal, Deputy President David Mabuza handed over land to the Ubizo community, whose forced removal goes back as far as 1927.
I'm very honored today to join all of you in this special occasion to hand over this land to this community. I truly believe that there could be no greater joy than to give to our people what is rightfully theirs.
The claim was first lodged in 1995. Inkosi Cebekulu sought justice and dignity for his people by demanding the return of his people's land.
Mina ngathi ngijabula kakhulu ngoba ngathi mina ungcono ngoba indawo ibuyiswe isaphila. Bekhona abantu ukuthi hayi fanele edayise nazo ethi hayi ngeke. Ngoba uma uyidayisile imali iyaphela. Imali kanti indawo le njengoba ikhiqiza ngelokhu isizukulwane nesizukulwane soba sisizakala.
Thina seyikoleni azenze agriculture ukuze singayitholi sithi simukela umhlaba bese sithola ukuthi kufika abantu bangaphandle futhi bazosebenza lo mhlaba. Kube izingane zethu ezivelele ezisebenza wona lo mhlaba.
if sifuna leli plaza likhule eminyakeni elandelayo fanele siqale lapha phansi on the ground ingane siqale zifundiswe ngeagriculture ibuye leagriculture ezikoleni.
In the Western Cape province, President Cyril Ramaphosa handed over title deeds to descendants of the Griqua and Khoi communities in Ebenezer. This was a groundbreaking event, as this marked the first successful claim by the Griqua and Khoi communities since their forced removal from 53 farms in the area in the 1920s. Further north of the country, President Ramaphosa handed over land and financial compensation to 10 claimant communities in Gauteng. These groups lost their land rights when they were abruptly removed from their properties with the implementation of the provisions of the 1930 Natives Land Act.
Today, as we return the land to the Mahlangus, to the Malobolas, it is like it is being returned to all of us, because all of us have had this collective pain. But we are saying, as a government, we are prepared to heal this wound. This wound must be healed, and it will be healed when the land is returned to its original owners. And that we are going to do.
Land beneficiaries are not only using land for agricultural purposes. A prime example is the 401 Richmond Park families in Milnerton, Western Cape, who were forcibly removed from their land by the apartheid government. Their land claim was concluded in 2007. This community opted to build commercial properties on the land, including a shopping mall, light industrial buildings, and a business park.
Between 1972 and 1986, the community of Richmond Park were forcibly removed from the land. In 1994, Mandela announced that there's a restitution process. The land claim for Richmond Park Communal Property Association was settled in 2011, and on 19 December 2014, Minister Quinty handed over the land to the community of Richmond Park.
When we got our land back, the developers, Atterbury and Partners, came to the table. So they lease our land from us, and in return, we get a 25% shareholding, upfront payment of 40.1 million. That was distributed amongst the claimant families, as well as the skills training program that we already started last year, and the Bursary Treasury Trust is currently running. As you can see, the development is Richmond Park Development Company. In our negotiation with the developers, we said to them, we are not going to compromise. We want to have that name for generations to come, so that we can have a legacy, something for them to look back to.
This development is proof that if government and business and the people come together and there's a willingness to work together, then we can make a great success. There's over 100 people on the site already employed. There's going to be thousands of people over the lifespan of this development being employed, and it makes a difference in people's lives. Together with our community partners, the plan was always to not do a once-off wealth creation. It's a lifetime of wealth. It's a machine that needs to produce continually so that the whole community can be built up through generations.
The journey to land restitution and reform is a long one, and not without its challenges. The question of land being returned to its rightful owners cannot be dismissed. By returning the land, we also restore the dignity of South Africa's children and enable them to empower themselves. As we build the South Africa that we want to live in, let us look to the land, equip ourselves with the skills needed to work it and prosper.